Good afternoon. I grew up in the suburbs of St. Louis, Missouri, and we had a unique custom there. The Crippled Children's Society, now with a more positive name but still in existence, sponsored groups of carolers going all over St. Louis and St. Louis area. About 1.5 million people lived there, and every little group, whether it was a scout group, a neighborhood group of some sort, church carolers, whoever got together with others to sing on an organized basis, would register with the Caroling Association, and we would be given a red cape so they knew we were official, and a collection can so that we could go around and collect money for the Crippled Children's Society, which now has a more positive name. But our group was from the Girl Scouts, and our troop caroled on an area about probably 3 miles north and 3 miles then on the other side of the street coming south. And we had had that same route for years, at least 25 years that I know of. We had that same route, so they were all old friends. It was just the ages of the girls changed. So we would sing carols, everything from Silent Night to Santa Claus is coming to town if they had small children. And it was such a warm, wonderful feeling. And when it was all over and the caroling was finished, we'd go back to the church, which was our sponsoring organization, and they would have cocoa and cookies ready for us. And that was Christmas to us. That began a formal Christmas Day services. Christmas Eve was always out caroling, and I miss it terribly. When I'm here and no carolers appear at my door, I just feel deprived. So I wish everyone a very Merry Christmas, and I hope you have carolers this year because it adds to the joy of the season. Thank you very much.
My best Christmas is when my husband and I and 4 children would go to my mother-in-law's house. She didn't have a very big house, but she always made coffee cakes during the week, and then we had all the family there. We had to be there at 9 in the morning for breakfast. She always had eggs and bacon and whatever you wanted, and then made us all wait and unwrap our presents before that, and we just had a ball there. Even her house was tiny. She's a wonderful lady. She's going to be 104 this next April. I'm so glad I have her, and she's just been the best person, and I just love her to pieces, and my kids just think the world of her. And nobody left that house without either coffee cake in their hand or 2 or 3 presents from her, which she really couldn't afford too much, but she's a jewel. I love her to pieces.
One of the things I like about the holiday season, one of my favorite things, is cookies. Christmas cookies, or other kinds of cookies. And in my family, there were 2 kinds of cookies that we made at this time of year. Butter cookies, which are the kind that lots of people make. You roll them out and you have cookie cutter stars and angels and Santa Clauses and Christmas trees, and you cut them out and you bake them and put color frosting on them and that sort of thing. So that's one kind. Ours were a little different than most because in addition to the usual stuff, there was some lemon juice in there, so I thought they were special. The other kind of cookie that we made in our family, I just looked up the recipe my mother wrote down, Hazelnut Macaroons. When I was a kid, we called them belly buttons, but when you're grown up, you can't do that. So they're hazelnut macaroons, and the reason they're called belly buttons we'll get to in a little while. So hazelnuts or filberts, you have to grind them. This is, oops, I got it upside down. This is the nut grinder. This came with my mother from Germany in the late 1920s, and it's made of metal and enamel, and as you can see, and it has, this is wood, and that goes in there like that. Whoops. All right, I'll get it. It has a, you attach it to your countertop, handle, goes around like that. And you put the nuts in there, and you press down with one hand and turn the handle, and the hazelnuts come out this way. You put a dish here. The thing that is really important about the nut grinder is what it makes is little tiny, now I can't come up with the word, little tiny slivers of nut. It doesn't grind them into flour or meal. You can't do this in your blender. I don't know if you can do it in your food processor. Maybe there's an attachment to the food processor, but it has anyhow, you get little tiny slivers. So it makes a big difference when you make the cookies. So you get that. You make a meringue, egg whites and sugar, and you put the hazelnuts in, and you make little round clumps of cookie dough. And hazelnuts have the virtue that they come apart in halves quite readily. So you take half, you have some whole hazelnuts, you take a half hazelnut, and you put it on top of the little pound of cookie dough, and you press down, and you cook it, and that's why they're called belly buttons, because that's kind of what they look like. And they really are to die for. I haven't made them in a while. Now that I'm talking about it, I wish I had some, I don't know. But anyway, one of my favorite things about this season is cookies.